Well, we didn't beat the rain, but we're beating the truck anyway.
Hey, found another one.
Christopher got the heater box out, and I've got all the rivets drilled out of this panel here, so we're going to get this panel off right quick. We beat it up, got it out. We just got to trim this middle piece right here.
And it's engine stuffing time.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You got the cutoff wheel right there.
Sure do.
Oh.
You know, I ain't gonna do none of that without getting my square out.
Well, square it up.
I will.
Alright, so we got the engine bolted in, and she's stuffed in there pretty good.
Stuff is right.
So we'll figure out how we got to trim the floor to go around this thing,
honestly.
and then we'll go about building it back. Not a bad deal. Shouldn't be bad at all.
That wasn't too bad.
Mm-mm.
It'd be nice if you learned some crane signals.
Alright. Alright, so we trimmed the, I guess it's the toe board piece of the floorboard. We got it close, really close to the head. I'm trying to make it serviceable to where you can get the rocker box and all off of it, which will make all this dog box panel removable. So if we have to do any service work in the future, this piece will stay removable, and whatever dog box piece we put over the engine there will be removable, and that'll make it to where it's easily serviceable. I don't want to make it where you can't work on it. We're engineers that were mechanics, which most engineers aren't. So That's what we got right now. Working out pretty nice.
You can hold my hand.
And over here, I've taken out all the fittings that need to be changed out. These two fittings here, heater hose fittings that go in. Right here we'll put a pipe plug in. Our manifold center here and the stud kit and gaskets. The gaskets came the other day. The stud kit and the manifold should be here Monday or Tuesday. We still got to get a flywheel surfaced and get a clutch coming, and we need the clutch housing gaskets here. We're going to put an oil pan gasket and the rear main seal down here. We're going to do all that, so make sure that we got keep a dry engine. That's the whole point of this deal. We want to have it to where it's good to go for a bunch of miles before we got to worry about it. So that's what we're looking at. This is the original firewall hump, which we could possibly make something to work with that, but I think we can probably make something else. But that's how far back it had to come. So nothing we can't work out. So somebody had asked me what I was going to do about the rust in the floor of this cab. Well, the floor in this cab, the only floor in this cab that was metal was this aluminum part right here. From this lip back to the back of the cab was plywood. Now when they fixed this truck up, one of the times they fixed this truck up, they put a very thin sheet metal over the plywood on both sides, up underneath and on top. And what happened was, with the windshield leaking and the boot ring leaking, the plywood got wet and rusted the sheet metal that they put in over the plywood. So when we put the floor back in this truck, we're going to put some kind of plastic material, like I don't know what it is. Boots found something that's a thin plastic sheeting, like hard plastic sheeting, like a wallboard or something, and we'll put that underneath the plywood, and then put plywood down. And the truck's not going to have carpet. We're going to put hardwood in here. So it'll be a marine gray plywood on top of a plastic, let's call it a moisture barrier, and then a hardwood floor on top of that. But like I said, originally the floor in this truck was all It was aluminum from the firewall down. And then from that lip to the back of the cab was all plywood. And that's the way these trucks were built. So it'll be a layer of plywood, but then the finish on the floor is going to be hardwood just because it's cool. So that's how that's going to be. And for you guys that don't realize, these trucks on a Kenworth, the cab panels, the door skins, all the outside skin on this thing is aluminum with aluminum framework. And the top of the cab is fiberglass. And the whole hood was fiberglass. And the same thing with the sleeper. The sleeper panels were aluminum and the top was fiberglass. So that's the way they were made. So I mean, and we're gonna hook this thing up. It's really gonna be nice. So y'all just stand by and you'll see. But we're coming right along. We've got the engine placement down, and we're planning this thing out to where we got enough room for the clutch fan, and we want to run a good sized radiator and an air-to-air intercooler so we can get the horsepower out of this motor that I want. So I like to get 550 or better out of it. So anything 4 1/4 and above has to have an air-to-air intercooler on it. So that's what we're gonna do. So y'all just stay tuned and y'all will see what's going on. I appreciate the comments and the questions. And as they come up, I will try to answer them.